Good afternoon, wherever you are, in any part of the world. Hello, okay? Hello from my heart to yours. I've been out in my garden weeding this morning, and the word prepare kept coming into my mind. We need to prepare. So we need to prepare for hard times. So behind me, I've put together, I've picked up a little bit of stuff. You may say, well, I don't know where to begin. How do I start preparing? Well, you start by getting some shelf-stable food. You may say, well, what kind of shelf-stable food? Well, how about this? Don't buy something that you won't eat, okay? You don't want to buy things that you won't eat because it's just going to sit there on the shelf, okay? That's what it's going to do. You may say, Gina, are you a prepper? Well, I believe in being prepared for whatever may come. I do. So I put together some items. You can see right here. Above all things, you've got to have yourself a can opener because if you buy canned goods, you're going to need to open up these canned goods, okay? And let me show you this right here. And if let's start with these canned goods right here. You can get some tomato sauce. You can get some black olives. Some whole potatoes in a can. You can get whole potatoes in a can. Let me get these. I don't want to really mess them all up. You can buy whole potatoes in a can in case you can't get no fresh potatoes. And they work really good in soup. If you want to make some potato soup, you can use these whole potatoes in a can. And while you're at it, hold on, just right there. While you're at it, you can put some sliced carrots in your potato soup. That's what you can do. And you may say, well, I don't know about that. I won't have any milk. Well, they've got dried milk. If you can get access to it, you can make you some potato soup with some dried milk. Okay? You can have, and you can do some sauerkraut if you like sauerkraut. You can have some sauerkraut. Don't show, they might wipe you out. I've put together some supplies. I went to the store and I picked up different items. Just because I'm showing this doesn't mean that I've got this, okay? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me at this point. I don't live in fear, okay? I don't. I've put together certain foods that you can pick up from the store, and you can pick up some sauerkraut, okay? I don't really eat it, but some people might eat it. And you can also, what's really good about the sauerkraut, let me show you this. If you can find it in a can, I had to look really hard. You can find pork in a can. You can have some pork and sauerkraut if you want it. And you can throw in some black-eyed peas with that. That's if you eat that. You can even get, if they have it, you can get hamburger in a can. You can get beef in a can. If you can't get any fresh beef, if you like to eat meat, you can get that if they have it, okay? If they have it, you can get it. You can get turkey. If they have it, you can get turkey in a can. Okay? If you eat Spam, you can get Spam. You can get treat. It all depends on what you want to eat. It really does. You can get cooked ham in a can. You can get that. That goes really well with if you can stock up on some beans. You can get a 1 pound bag of beans. You can chop up some ham and put it in that, okay? You can. It's all right. You can do this. These are all shelf-stable food. You can get chicken in a can. You can get a 4-pack at the Walmart. You can. You might want to get some peanut butter and some jelly. I don't know what you'd put it on, but if you got some flour, I guess you can learn to make bread or maybe some pitas, something like that. You can do that. You really can. You can get yourself some spaghetti. You can get spaghetti. You can get some spaghetti sauce right here. You can put some black olives. You can have spaghetti and with some black olives in it. You really can. You can have some stuffing. That is shelf stable. You can have stuffing with your meal. Just get you some vegetables. You can have some peas with it and or some black-eyed peas. You can have that with it and a meat if you want to have a meat with it. You can get, they sell artichoke hearts. I haven't ate these in a long time. I used to get them fresh years and years ago in Monterey in California, so it might have been around the year 1988. That was a long time ago. I haven't ate any. So you can get you some, let's look at this. You can get some Bisquick. If you get that, you can get some, whoopsie, you can get some syrup to go on that. You want to think about shelf-stable food. That's what you want to get. You can get you some oats. You see some oats right here. You can get a small bag of brown sugar. That should be shelf-stable. You can do that too. That's what I'd like to say. You can get some instant coffee. If you're a coffee drinker, you can pick you up an instant coffee right here. It's shelf-stable. You can get a little bag of rice. You can get a bag of rice. You'd have to cook it if you know how to cook rice. You can get a bag of rice because it is shelf-stable also. You can get some instant potatoes. They go well. You can even use water with them to make them. You can get some different packs of soup. This is all I could find to show you is these onion soup mix. You can get dried soup. You can get some ramen. This is cheap. It is cheap. You can get some macaroni and cheese. That's shelf stable. They even have the kind that you have the cheese that's already done in the package. I don't know how long that would last. I really don't. You could get some instant, like blueberry mix. You can get stuff like this too. You've got to think of your family when you're getting prepared, you know, because when the hard times hit, they're going to hit, okay? They're going to hit. You may say, well, I don't need to prepare. God's going to take care of me. God will take care of you. He's telling you ahead of time. At certain times, God will tell you, you need to prepare, okay? But if you continue to ignore that message, say, I don't need to, I'm going to be taken out of here in the rapture. What if you're not? You know, there are three theories. There's a pre-tribulation rapture, there's a mid-tribulation rapture, and there is a post-tribulation rapture. Okay? Please prepare, okay? I'm not anti-God. I'm not at all. I'm telling you this, but I like to use wisdom. Wisdom, you know, that is really good for us to use some wisdom. So you do need to prepare. If you're a Christian looking at this, please prepare, okay? It's the right thing to do. It is. You may say, well, I'll just go to other people's house. I got to think about that. What if the roads are shut down? They can shut down the national highways, okay? In emergencies, they can shut it all down and nobody travels to and fro. I'm telling you right now, I feel within my spirit, I need to tell you to prepare. You need to build up your, build a strategic stockpile. The government does it. They have strategic stockpiles of food that they probably will give to the people if a terrible emergency occurred, okay? They would, and you'd be finding yourself waiting in big long lines like you do outside, like the license branch or something. You have to wait 6 feet apart at these license branch. Sometimes there's around 100 people waiting just to even get into them because they've closed them down practically, every single one of them. So you got to prepare. You can even get some tuna in these Mylar bags. If they're in the Mylar bags, they really last a long time. And I think tuna in a can, I think I read that tuna in a can, it might have mercury in it, it will last up to around 7 years. I did a little research on it. You can get some Vienna sausages. If you eat those, I really can't eat those. You could get some clams. Yeah. You can get all kinds of things that are shelf stable. You can get some herring if you like herring, and or some fish steaks. These are just like protein. You need protein in your body, okay? You really do. Yeah, well, if you can have chickens where you're at, that's great. I can't have chickens where I'm at because, well, I could. I'd have to fence them in and they wouldn't be free to roam. We've got wild animals that would get those chickens. That's what I've got to say. You do need salt. Did I show you salt? Your body needs iodine. It really does. You've got to get yourself some salt. This should last you quite a long time. Okay, right here. Let's see. If you like fruit, you can get you some fruit. You got some blueberries. These are old. I never got to use them. And some pineapple slices. I can my own fruit when my trees bloom and we reap that harvest. I can my own fruit. So I've got some canned fruit. Yeah. Let's see, what else could I show you? Okay. You might need a lighter. You really might need a lighter. You might need some batteries. You might want to, if you can find a hand crank radio. You see, you would turn it like this. You just turn it like this, and it has a radio, it has a flashlight, it has some blinkers. This is an emergency if your power would go out. You need something like that. You're very welcome. You might need a candle. A candle to light your way in the darkness, because I don't know. Well, I know that we have this great big light within us that can light our way. And we should not ignore that light within us, okay? Because this light within us, it's trying to tell us something, okay? Prepare, okay? We've got to do this for ourselves. We've got to do it for our families. And if we just continue to ignore the signs that are all around in every part of the world, you see it on the TV. I don't even turn on the news. I don't want the negativeness in me, but I am aware of what's happening. I really am. And just like you all are aware, some people, they just have to literally turn off the TV because the fear-based propaganda, and even though it's really true, it literally instills fear in a lot of people because they feel so helpless. You don't have to be helpless, okay? You don't. You can prepare. And you know, you may say, well, they're going to round everybody up and take them to FEMA camps. I don't know about that. I've heard about FEMA camps. I don't know all about them. I really don't. But I know that I prepare. And you don't need a whole lot. You don't have to be like the Mormons. They store up a year's worth of food. They have to. A whole year's worth of food in big old pails and stuff. So they're already prepared. A lot of people prepare, okay? It's nothing wrong with preparing, and you're not hoarding and you're not stockpiling. It's just like when you put money in your bank, and or those people who have 401ks, you know, you're trying to invest in your future. You're building up something for your future. The same thing with food, okay? It's the same ideology, okay? You've got to prepare. That's what I'd like to say. I really feel it's really urgent for you to prepare because our world is changing so fast. Things are happening behind the scenes that a lot of us do not know about. We really don't. I don't even know the half of it, and I don't think I want to know the half of it. But I know I want to have prepared. I want to be prepared, and you know, at the FEMA sites, they tell you to have at least a 2-week supply of food and water, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? You can get, that's what I've done. I've got at least a 2-week supply of food and water. If the electricity was to go out, you never know. We could have an EMP. We could have something that literally fries our grid, and we got the grid down. And if you're that type of person who don't have much food in your house or water because you didn't take the time to get extra, and or if you're on a very limited income, whoopsie, I'm going to try to get this. If you're on a very limited income, I know it's hard to prepare, but you can do a little bit. You can pick up a can of vegetables and maybe some treat or something like that, just whatever you eat, or beans, because they are really high in protein, all of that right there. We've got to prepare, and if you're just joining this video and you're looking behind me saying, what is this woman talking about? I'm talking about we need to prepare for hard times. We need to use wisdom, and we should not have the mentality to think, well, I'll just go to such and such's house. You won't if the roads are shut down. That's what I'm going to say. They can shut the roads down and nobody leaves wherever they're at. You don't leave, okay? That's how it works. They've done it before. I'm sure other people have seen that. They've done it before. They've shut the roads down. And I don't know what would make anyone think, saying, well, they would not go to that extent. Yes, they would. They would. They would go to that extent. When I was in Berlin, it was back in 1989-90. I was pregnant with my son. I had him in Berlin. Well, the Berlin Wall It came down while I was there, but a major war broke out in the Middle East, okay? It did, and there was terrorist attacks. There was terrorist threats against the bases in Berlin where we were at. So they surrounded the schools with big old school buses and military tanks, okay? And whenever we left our condominium, whatever it is that you live in, those great big old duplexes, they have like 6 levels. We had to take our IDs with us when we went to the commissary, and when we came back, even to the entrance of our neighborhood, there was a person with the M16. We had to show our ID to say, yes, I do live in this. And as we walked up to the road, the sidewalk to our house, there was a great big army tank with a guy with the M16 standing in it. And then there was one right there in front of our complex. They had military people in front of every single complex. We had to show our ID again to say, yes, we live in this building. Okay, so they can shut everything down if they want to. That's what I'm telling you. You've got to prepare because you may be shut in. And if you think this last round, if you think that this you know what, has not changed our lives, our normality, you need to think again because they're going to continue to change. There's going to be more restrictions, okay? And you can't buy more than 4 items at the store at a time anyhow, so there's your squeezing right there. And you may not even be able to go to store if you don't have a mask, okay? So please, if you can, prepare. You may not get all these items. I just tried to find a variety of items that you could get. Just get the food that you eat. They say eat what you store and store what you eat. I guess that's how it goes. So yeah. Oh my goodness. And yeah, and you know, people may say, well, Gina, you shouldn't show that. They're going to come to your house. They're not going to get much. They're not. They're not going to get much at all. So yeah. I'm sorry I did not see your all's comments, but that's about all I have to say. You're going to have to let your light shine through the darkness, okay? You are, just like this candle. And you know, you got to have, you either have a lighter or you have some matches to light your candle if the lights go out. You can get those little tea candles also. And the power does go out where I'm at in the country because when we get storms, the main hub is somewhere isolated and back in some old country town, and it knocks the power out, and it takes them a while to get to all the houses in the country. It really does. Yeah, you got to have batteries. I've got batteries here. You might want to get some rechargeable batteries. Now that I'm thinking about it, you could probably get you a little solar. I think they sell these solar things that you can charge your cell phone with, and or solar. You know, they got the outside solar lights. If you could set your lawn lights out and get the sunlight in the daytime, you could probably have some lights. I never tried that. That's a good idea. You could use those in your house at nighttime if the power were to go out. In France, many mediums say to prepare water, food, and garden and vitamins. That's exactly right, and I'm right there with them. I was in my garden pulling out the weeds because we've had a lot of rain, and those weeds that I didn't get pulled out, they have taken over a certain spot. So that's the word that came in my mind. And I wanted to get out there before it got too humid because we're going to get really humid days to come. But that was what came in my mind. Prepare, 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 prepare. So I thought I just want to pull these weeds out. But then it kept coming in my mind. I said, fine, I will get up. I will go in and I will do that. I've been meaning to do it for a long time, but I haven't. I haven't done it. Because I don't like to do these videos because people say, well, you're just a survivalist. You're a prepper. Yeah, I want to survive and I want to prepare, okay? I do. And I want you to survive and I want you to prepare if you feel led within here to do it, okay? Because I don't like doing these videos, I really don't. But I know that time is of the essence and time is running out for you to prepare. It really is running out, okay? So you need some water. And you need, yeah, you really need water. Above all else, some water, and you need some food, at least 2 weeks supply of food and water. You might want to put together a bug out bag or put it like in a little crate, like those plastic tubs. If you had to evacuate your house from flooding or something, you would want to be able to grab something to take with you. You really would. Or a backpack. I know it's a lot to take in. I know it is a lot to take in, and it takes time to prepare. But I think we can prepare for at least 2 weeks. We can have extra food. Your children would love it. They really would. Yeah. Yeah. And Kenny Lakehead, yes, you have to keep that peace within. You do. This is not fear-based at all. This is not. You cannot be overcome by fear, but you can prepare. Okay, you can look around and see what's happening in the world. That should be setting off alarm bells. It really should, because I'm sure within your spirit it's a little unsettled. So yeah, you can become aware enough to prepare, and do not let the fear sink in here. Okay, you don't want that fear to sink inside your being at all. Well, I like white candles. I love them. If I had a choice, if I would rather buy white or any colored candles, I would buy white because I like them. They're very beautiful and they're peaceful. I do have some other colored candles, but not very many of them. Yeah, a gas stove and matches. Yeah. Water is essential. You know, you can get you a water filter, like a little pitcher that has like a filter in it. Put your water in it and purify some of those contaminants that are in the water. You might want to get some bleach. There's 2 types of bleach, I heard. There's some that's like watered down, and there's some that's kind of thick. I don't know which one would be good to sanitize your water, to get out, put that chlorine in the water. I have no idea about that kind of stuff. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, water and filters. Yeah, and if you're looking behind me, I have all of this stuff that you're saying. I put together, I went to the store and I put together what I could find. You notice I don't got 4 of each. It'd have been a lot of money for me to have to spend to get 4 of each, but I've got some of this stuff right here. Right there. And you know, I used to have to fix big meals because when my son was young, he'd have his friends over, and they have 2-day parties at our house playing on their computers. So I loved to have extra food to cook for them. I loved it. That was really good days for me when my son had all his friends over at night for 2 days. But then I thought, okay, brother, that's enough. Yeah, that is all right. Yeah, I would encourage you to enjoy your life and make the best of your life while you can, okay? I really would, because it's important. Just because everything is going around in the world doesn't mean that you have to give in to the fear and quit enjoying your life too, okay? Continue to do those things that make you happy, that bring you inner peace. You've got to find that space within here. You've got to do it for yourself, okay? So you can think straight. Oh, 1 drop of chlorine per a gallon of water. Thank you. Life Water straws. Oh, I've never heard from that. And hello, everyone. If you're just tuning in, we need to prepare for hard times because I think it's very wise. You do not want to be caught off guard knowing that you should have prepared, and then the day comes and you can't go to the stores. You can't leave your home because the roads are shut down. They will shut them down. They do it for construction all the time. And I think they did it during like that Hurricane Katrina and stuff. The National Guard was out, okay, and I'm sure a lot of bad things happened too, but I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not. Bonjour. So with that being said, yeah, don't let your light go out. Do not let your light go out, especially if you had the means to prepare and you didn't, and then the darkness encompasses you. Don't let that happen to you. Do not let that happen, okay? Yeah. From Wells, whom sadly don't I believe. Yeah, and you know, like you said, you have to store up food for others. If that's your case, you might want to have a little extra for them too. And it's impossible to prepare for everything. It is. But I do know this. It says, he who gathered little did not have too little, and he who gathered much did not have too much. You'll know within your spirit what's enough for you and your family. You'll know, okay? Do not go overboard. I'm telling you that. Don't be one of these people who go overboard and they have so much food they can't eat it, okay? Yeah, but that time you should share. with others. So even if you do share a lot of food, if you have a lot of food, you may end up having to share it with others, and that's okay. Because some will not be able to prepare, okay? There are a lot of elderly, and there's a lot of low-income people who do not have the extra money to prepare, but there are those who can, and they should. You really should. So we need to look out for one another also. We really do. That's what I want to say. Patu7, thank you. I want to be someone who will speak when they're led within, when you feel it within your heart to speak. That's what I want to be. That's what I do, regardless of what other people say. And it is time for us to prepare. It is. And you'll know within your spirit, if you're watching this video, you are meant to watch it, okay? You are meant to hear everything that I said if you're watching this video. And it's time for you to prepare, because time is running short. It really is. Even though I take pictures of these UFOs and I like to do that stuff right there, we still need to prepare. Okay, we do. Yeah. Martine Milka, my videos are on a site proving what you see is real. Could you please put that site down below on this YouTube? I like to go back if I've got a time to look at it. I am going to end this video, so if you're just tuning in, I've put together like some food that you might eat. You like to have some rice. Rice and beans, I heard, was a main staple because it had, I guess, the carbs in it or something. And beans, you don't have to just get pinto beans. You can get butter beans, lima beans, northern beans. You can get split pea if you like split pea soup. I like split pea soup, but I haven't made it. You can get some lentils. I used to make that years and years ago. You can just get even a 1-pound bag. It's like $1 or something. Yeah. Even a little is better than nothing, okay? It is. Okay, thank you, Marlene. Well, with that being said, I'm going to end this video. I don't like it to be long. And again, I'm going to tell you, I don't like doing videos like this. It's, boom. It's not good to have to do videos like this, but it's important. It really is. So with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I hope if you feel led within your spirit, if you're watching this video, please go out and get at least 2 weeks worth of food, because that's what FEMA recommends too, and the Red Cross too. If any disaster would strike, like hurricanes, tornadoes, fire, anything like that, earthquakes, you want to have some extra food for yourself and your family. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. You all take care too. Yeah.